Hi folks, today we're going to be looking at a dummy who calls himself Junkyard News. He can't seem to figure out what's going on, even after the police tell him over and over. He also refers to himself in the third person, which makes him even more unlikable. I apologize for his terrible audio. I'll fix it as much as I can. Let's point and laugh at the stupid.
Don't interrupt me, man. I'm documenting this scene right here. Don't interrupt me.
If you can't hear what the officer said, he said, "Do you have a gun?" I don't think the proper answer to that question from a cop is, "Don't interrupt me."
Don't touch me.
Stop.
I do not consent.
I don't care.
Don't touch me.
Man.
I don't consent. This is a Fourth Amendment violation. Why am I being detained? Why am I being detained? What do you suspect me of committing? What suspect me of committing? You know, a call is a hunch. An anonymous call is a hunch.
Okay.
Unless you know for a fact. Is this a Terry frisk? Is this a... No, I am not. The Supreme Court has already ruled.
Put your hands behind your back.
I do not consent.
What is happening here is that someone called in a tip for a person with a gun, and he met the description that the caller gave. He was asked if he had a gun, and he didn't answer, so now he's being detained.
Behind your back.
Why? Why am I being detained? Just tell me why.
You didn't accept.
All right, then I won't resist.
Thank you.
Do not.
I won't. You can just stay there.
Why am I being detained?
I told you already.
What?
Accept the reason.
What reasonable articulable suspicion of what crime you suspect?
Possibly having a gun, dude.
Why? Somebody said they saw a firearm?
Yep. And we have to investigate. That's right. And as we're investigating.
Is it illegal to have a firearm in California? Don't we have a Second Amendment right? How do you know did have a firearm? Can you articulate? I don't consent to any searches of my property. I don't want to be submitted to any questioning without an attorney present. I am media.
Junkyard News has dozens of videos on his channel going back 7 years. The only news reports on his channel is content that he's re-uploaded from news channels. So no, he is not media.
Then why am I in handcuffs detained?
Why are you explaining for my partner?
What crime would that be?
Okay. So here's what happened. We got a call of someone with a gun.
Hypothetically, a gun when legally carried cannot be a reason for detainment. How do you know I'm not, if I did possibly have a firearm, how do you know I'm not a CCW?
He's asking how the officer knows that he doesn't have a concealed carry permit. I have a concealed carry permit, and in my state, you are required to show it to an officer upon request, along with picture ID. You sign a paper saying that you understand that when you apply for the permit. California has much more strict laws than my state, so I'm sure they have a similar provision.
We can detain to investigate it.
And yes, what criminal activity do you think is afoot?
Okay.
What criminal activity do you feel is afoot?
We don't know. We got a call of a gun.
You have to have reasonable articulable suspicion that criminal activity has been committed, is about to be committed, or is in the process of committing to detain somebody. Basic law.
Give me your name?
Basic law. Get me out of these cuffs, please. No. Get me out of these cuffs right now.
Are you going to give me your name?
I ain't giving you shit.
Okay.
You just assaulted and attacked a member of the media for no crime.
You seem to know a lot about
for
law,
no
so you understand
crime.
That if I'm in the wrong, you still have to subject to my orders, right?
No.
That's your obligation.
Case law is clear.
Okay,
unlawful orders can be resisted.
I can pull it up. You're detained, so I need to identify.
No, that's not how it works in California.
Really?
That's not how it works. Where did you go to fucking school?
That's a perfect comeback by the cop. Somebody buy that guy a beer.
Where did you go to school?
I refuse to answer that question.
Oh, okay.
He must not be proud of his GED. At this point, the cops help him get himself back on camera so that he can lie to his subscribers.
Hey everybody, if it's still going, Junkyard News has been handcuffed. I was forced to the ground for suspicion of no crime, no criminal activity. Now they refuse to uncuff me, and they refuse to release me, although they patted me down after throwing me to the ground. They got a call of somebody with a firearm, supposedly. So they think that gives them a right to do whatever they want. All I was doing was documenting the scene here. When the police showed up, and I got thrown to the ground, and I'm in handcuffs for no suspicion of any criminal activity. The original call was person with a firearm. I was patted down. There was no firearm, sir. How come I'm still in cuffs?
Because you refused to ID during a legitimate stop.
You no longer suspect.
Investigation.
Into what? Into what crime? What suspected criminal activity?
Supervisor's on the way.
Could you answer one question for me?
I think we're just going to get into this kind of loop, and I think that's exactly what you want.
Exactly. This cop, unlike his detainee, is no dummy.
What was the description of the person that supposedly brandished a firearm?
There was a third subject. You came in as the third subject. Black hoodie, camo pants. Would you say that's accurate?
Wait, so they said that 3 people had firearms? Or did they point to a specific person and said they had a firearm?
Well, it's hard to point over the phone, huh?
Another great retort by the officer. Here's the part where Junkyard News gets taken to school.
Are you familiar with the 148?
Subsection G.
Okay, but are you familiar with just the 148 as far as resisting and obstructing a police officer in his duties?
I didn't resist or obstruct anything.
Okay.
At that moment, all I know is somebody grabbed me. Somebody attacks you. Isn't it normal fight or flight response when somebody grabs you and they shouldn't be grabbing you?
We all saw the cop approach him. For God's sake, he had the camera pointed at him. Of course he knew who was grabbing him and who he was resisting.
Did we tell you we were police officers?
You didn't tell me I was detained until
My brother
after.
told you.
That was after. I didn't resist. I said I'm not resisting after he said you're being detained.
Well, you'd be amazed how many times people say, I'm not resisting as they're resisting all the time.
All I know is I was getting attacked. I didn't do anything wrong. Any normal human being
You understand you can be detained pending investigation.
into criminal activity.
Mm-hmm.
If he would have asked me, dude, do you have a firearm? Or had a casual conversation with me, things would have been a lot different.
Let's see if he was lying. Keep in mind, all this came from his very own channel.
You got no guns or nothing like that, right? Huh?
Don't interrupt me, man. I'm documenting this scene right here. Don't interrupt me.
You knew he was a cop, though, right?
He didn't identify himself as a cop. For all I know, he could have been a security guard for somewhere.
Did you see him in full police uniform driving that vehicle right there?
I don't remember where he got out.
Would a reasonable person believe that that's probably a police officer? Especially when another police officer came.
The supervisor shows up and talks to him, and then he is released. But he claims that he was arrested, again lying to his subscribers. Folks, don't tell lies, but if you're going to, don't put the evidence of it on your YouTube channel for everyone to see. If you like this video and want to see more stupid in the future, please like and subscribe.